Welcome to America's Third Party pro-legalization campaign for 2016. Thank you everybody for coming in. We are in the midst of Fun Friday, and we thought we'd talk about something that we're getting a lot of flack from people saying is bad. They're saying marijuana is bad for you. They're saying it's somehow destructive. It causes psychosis. There's arguments on either side of that position. But look at the statistics next to my face here. These statistics speak for themselves. 400,000 people die of tobacco deaths, related deaths every year. Alcohol, 100,000. I mean, the list goes on and on. Even caffeine, 2,000 deaths per year. But marijuana, nobody. Yeah, that's right. And now Sanjay, the famous CNN correspondent, is reversing his position on marijuana because the American people believe 57% of us believe that it's completely fine. We shouldn't have it as an illegal substance. So what is the problem? Barack Obama admitted to doing drugs at Occidental, smoking up. Even crack, he admitted to smoking crack in his book Audacity of Hope. So you've got a completely off-base, hypocritical president who doesn't really want to do anything to make sense of our economy, to get some tax revenue. He doesn't even want to benefit the people that need it medicinally because he's coming down hard on pharmacerias in LA and Seattle. Just last week or so, 10 pharmacerias were cut down and stopped from selling marijuana by the feds. So what's really going on? What's it all about? Yeah, I'm sure he's smoking something, because he wouldn't be handling the economy the way he is. He wouldn't be ignoring the American people the way he is. It took him 3 weeks to respond on the NSA situation. 3 weeks. At first he said he supports this is totally transparent, and now he's saying he's going to do something to be more transparent. How can you go from supporting it and claiming it's totally transparent on Charlie Rose's show and then denying it and now saying it, well, we need to make it more transparent? I mean, what the hell is this guy's problem? I'm glad he's talking about more transparency, but come on. The guy's like playing 3 days or 3 weeks too late in the news. All right, look at marijuana. Beneficial. Madrid study in 2007 showed it's shrunk brain cell tumors. Oh yeah, cannabinoids in marijuana shrunk brain cell tumors. So we've got a lot of things to concern ourselves with. There are people that claim that somebody's died from overdosing. That's, well, not the case. This guy, there was a rumor that Chum Lee, the Pawn Stars reality show star, had died, but he's not. He just was tweeting the other day. He's proof he's alive. I mean, he's tweeting still. Nobody's ever died of an overdose, okay? Not one person in the history of mankind. I mean, the closest person I could say may have contracted some mental problems was maybe Bob Marley, because he was smoking so much ganja. Oh yeah, man. Smoking the ganja, man. And I don't think that's necessarily a contributing factor. He might have been doing other drugs, possibly dropping LSD or any number of possibilities. That's not my place. I'm not here to say what it really is. But I am here to talk about what we can do in our nation to start straightening out the economy. And if marijuana legalization opens up hempoline factories, the ability to create hemp into biodiesel, if that's something that benefits from legalization, yes, I'm all for it. Why wouldn't I be? And I wish I could get closer to the camera, because somebody just said, David, man, you're blazed, dude. Were you hitting the volcano, man? Were you vaping or vaporizing the marijuana, dude? Yeah, because I had a marijuana leaf on the screen, you're accusing me of smoking marijuana. And you know, what if I was? This is a recreational use state in Washington. More than 51% support that in this state, okay? But yet Washington State has not produced any dispensaries. Not one place in Washington State, and this is like 10, 11 months down the road, has produced a dispensary. Classic example of the Democratic Party unable to make any decisions that make any sense. Pretty crazy, isn't it? Thank you. Yeah, I don't need to vaporize. I can just have a fun time on the show and just get involved in Fun Friday. I'm going to talk to you about what you can do to prepare for the coming apocalypse. I know that sounds a little scary, but I'm not trying to scare you. Let's face it. It keeps getting more expensive out there. Are your salaries increasing? Hello? Has the two-party system done anything to get you more jobs? Hello? So what I want you to do is I want you to start saving food. You see what I'm showing you right here? I got a phone call, hang on. Oh, somebody else. I'm showing you a piece of chocolate. Oh no, I gotta answer it. Yes, can I help you? She's not around right now. Maybe you could call back. Thank you. Take care. All right. This thing is a piece of chocolate. It was produced about 10 years ago. It was in a fondue pot. It's 10 years old. I'm going to eat it. Are you with me? Not because I've got the munchies. You think just because I got the munchies I'm eating a 10-year-old piece of chocolate? Let me show you something. This is a survival kit from 1958. It is loaded with food. We put it on eBay about 4 years ago, and we had the bid up to $7,000, and somebody was faking the bid. So we ended up not selling it. But we found this at a recycling center. It's got everything in it you could ever want. It's got pancake mix, and the stuff in there is actually edible, believe it or not. The possibility of food storage that's 25, 30 years old, even longer. I mean, this is 1958, okay? This is over 50 years. This is still edible food. We're led to believe that food in the markets and in the cans all have expiration dates, right? Well, those expiration dates were a recent phenomenon. Over the past 30 years, prior to maybe 7 years ago, they didn't put expiration dates on cans because they knew that canned food could last 20 years. Seriously. So when I say you need to store up food, I'm talking go to a food wholesaler in your area and stock up, because I'm trying to give you guys and gals a survival raft for the coming apocalypse. Because it's obvious that the two-party system are not giving you any jobs, any low-cost housing, and certainly no benefits for being a U.S. citizen in this country when it caters to illegal aliens. So if you're one of those people that stands around going, oh yes, I care about the illegals here in this country, and gosh darn it, let's give them a pathway to freedom and citizenship. Bear in mind, I have one of those. I have a naturalization plan at americasthirdparty.com that will provide people for a set fee of like $1,000 we're proposing, maybe higher. They can get an English education. They can get an education in government and history, and then take the 6-question citizenship test. The only catch in this whole scenario is that they have to go to their home country and apply at the U.S. Embassy there. That gives people an incentive to get the heck out of America if they're here illegally. Really. It's an incentive plan, and we can even set this up ahead of time so that they know that when they get to their home country, they will be welcomed by their U.S. Embassy. We can actually clear their name. We do a pre-clearance to make sure they have no criminal record. Thank you for coming in to our show. A lot of you have wondered, what is America's Third Party all about? I mean, we talk about strange things, of course, legalization, preparing for the future. We're also speaking to your inner intelligence, making you realize that the two-party system has essentially bankrupted the nation. We're now at bankruptcy level, folks, and no one realizes that, except for perhaps economists like Peter Schiff and Gerald Celente and people who have been very vocal about how we're reaching hyperinflation. We are. You go down to the store, you're seeing prices up another $1 everywhere across the board. And like I said, your salaries are not increasing. So clearly, legalization of marijuana is one stepping stone. The Homestead Renewal Plan is another stepping stone to creating jobs and creating housing, especially getting money back from the government that we're currently throwing into slumlords' hands. That's a plan that will take away the slumlords in this country and say bye-bye, like the guy who got Barack Obama elected, Tony Rezko. He gave Obama $350,000, and then HUD gave Tony Rezko $100 million. Your dollars, your tax dollars. That's what Obama's friend did. That guy is spending 10 years in jail for racketeering. Or look at the other people that supported Obama. John Corzine. I'm not saying he's a criminal. I'm saying look at him. He ruined a company, drained it, and now he's under investigation. for losing MF Global's it's close to $1.6 billion lost. All right. So you don't want freeloaders getting your tax dollars. I understand that, and that's the conservative approach. I got that. But we can't just forget about the homeless people that are growing by the day. So we've got these plans that are very efficient, lightweight, that will eventually pay for themselves and won't even draw your tax dollars, and you won't have to drive by all these homeless people going, "Hey man, you better spare a dime, buddy." You won't be doing that. In fact, you'll probably enjoy the benefit of smoking marijuana in your home. Possibly. Yeah. The world will be a lot more sustainable too, because believe me, your salaries are not going up. Pension funds across the nation, public pension funds, are going to be tanking. I hate to say it, but it's not fun. The group plans that are out there essentially tank. And we are against public unions. We're in favor of private unions. I'd like to see a union at Walmart. I certainly would welcome a Walmart union, especially considering the ruling that came down the pipe from the Supreme Court last year, disallowing any one employee, actually disallowing a class action suit against Walmart. Right. So every employee has to sue Walmart now, according to the Supreme Court. So yeah, I'm in favor of a private union for Walmart for sure. But the most important things for our party, if you want to pass the word on, is we want to end war. We do not like the concept of war. It's terribly expensive. It's costing our nation dearly. Look at what the cost was, 1.5 or 6 trillion dollars for the Iraq War, and almost $1 trillion going on Afghanistan. Money down the drain. And all these dead men and women. What have we accomplished? What has Obama done? What has he created in terms of strategies and tactics that are long term? Are we just all a bunch of mindless zombies standing there going, what's next? And opening our mouth and waiting for that little wafer to come our way? Well, eventually the food prices will go up really high, to the point where you can't afford food. So I urge you all to start buying wholesale food and stocking up, even if it's food you wouldn't normally eat. Seriously. I picked up some, I'm not Jewish, okay? But I picked up some matzahs. They were whole wheat matzahs. And I tried some of those things, and I got to tell you, I have never had something more inedible straight up in my life. But they were free. The wholesale food supplier said, I don't know what to do with these whole wheat matzahs, and just took the matzah crackers, so I brought them in. I can barely eat them. I can imagine pouring a caramel over them, or butter, and crackling them in an oven. I can see you got to get a lot of sugar into them, but I'm sure there's some great recipes for those things. But seriously, prepare for whatever you need to supply your family with at least 30 days of something. Because if you don't, you won't have anything. And definitely get a water filter. Now, there are water filters on the market that filter very well. Walmart sells them, other box stores sell them. They actually give you meters in them that tell you what kind of pollution, or at least the amount of particulates in the water. So you've got a way to do that. Atkins bars, ramen, right. All these things are edible in the event of a major disaster. So prepare. Do everything you can to pretend like your home is a ship and you're in the ocean, because you will have to lock your doors. In the event this economy is doing what I think it's doing, we are headed toward almost a one-way downhill slope that's getting steeper, because they keep borrowing money to prop this up. We are getting more cumbersome. Our economy is getting more cumbersome. I don't know about you, but I've seen very few sales on Craigslist or eBay that really show me a growth process. eBay's stock dropped 6% last week. I mean, these things are indications that the stimulus is not working. So you Democrats have to get into your head that the stimulus didn't work and Obama bombed in terms of his ability to save our economy. You've got to figure that out. Because now is the time to start realizing we need some brand new ideas here. We need some innovations. We're not going to get this country going unless we have that. So why is it a guy like me is running for president? Because I've got the ability to keep pushing. And I never give up. And I think you can see that by all our shows we've done. Over 1,432 shows now. I don't give up, and I don't care what people think of me at this point. I will keep trying to save this nation. No matter what I do, it's going to be to preserve this nation and to build a better government from within the confines of the Constitution, from within the election law requirements provided to us by the FEC. We are 100% compliant with the FEC. That's something I'm bragging about because we didn't make a dime from foreign interests or any corporations or even political action committees didn't donate to us. But even if they did, I'm a little hesitant to take money from groups like AIPAC. I don't want to cater to a specific religious bend, especially if they have a higher order mindset where they want something from us. I will not cave in to money. I am the unviable candidate, and I will do everything I can to preserve this country in every way possible, its values, its integrity, and most of all, its environment, so that it'll be a nice place for our kids and kids to grow up in, not something that's being spewed with radiation, like I've been talking about in my previous shows about Fukushima. We've got to get a handle on these things. Japan should be told immediately to put dirt on top of that smoldering powder keg of a China syndrome scenario. We've got a serious problem in Fukushima, and it's not going away, and I'm not going to sit back as your president and watch something just smolder. I'm going to tell the Japanese government we will do everything we can to help them cover it. My God, it's like a wound on the face of the earth. Get with it, people. So if a lot of you are saying, David, marijuana legalization is really bad for your image, I could win with legalization of marijuana in 2016. That's how powerful it is. I can take every state in the union pro-legalization. 57% will vote for me over what the other two parties offer. So unless the Democrats and the Republicans are going pro-legalization this campaign, they got a major negative against them because the American people are ready, and we are ready to start moving in this direction. Now, our government, our future government, will be half the size in terms of the budget. We have a zero deficit intention for 2017, and I will work with Congress daily and interact and be transparent like Obama wasn't. And I will open up the door to discussion, and you can take sound bites and video bites of every single thing I say and definitely use them against me if I don't open the door, because I seriously am going to broaden the discussion, open up the dialogue in politics, and encourage a third-party resolution that's somewhere in the middle of the two parties. That's what I'm going to do on every single issue. I want all of you to watch our show every night, if you can, but we're back on Monday with Conspiracy Monday, 6 to 9. Pacific time, and we will be talking about some of the bigger conspiracies facing our country. Oh God, I mean the numbers are mounting. I mean the newest conspiracy right now is the Benghazi cover-up of the CIA activity on the ground when Chris Stevens was dead. Oh yeah, a lot of things are being suppressed in the news right now. And this talk of terrorism, of Al-Qaeda, I'm not sure how much of it's based on fact. I really don't know yet because I'm looking deeper into these subjects and all of it's based on hearsay. Anyway, thank you for watching, and please continue and participate and tell people about a third party. You can tweet at third party. It would be very helpful to us. And word of mouth is super important here in getting the word out about a third party forming. Thanks for listening.